It's February 9th, 2018, HomePod Day, the day that Apple's long-awaited and delayed HomePod finally ships to consumers. I want to give you an unboxing, first look, and setup of the HomePod so you can kind of see how easy it is to set up, see how small it really is compared to the press shots. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Let's jump into the unboxing, followed by the setup. So let's go ahead and get into the box. Just peel the plastic off. Get rid of that. And here we go. In the box, you obviously have the power cable. It's interesting to note about this power cable. It doesn't seem to be removable, but Apple support has said that this will be a removable cable, so you won't require a whole unit swap if, say, the cable was damaged. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, especially when you take into consideration that a replacement HomePod, if yours is broken, is going to retail in the US for $279, which is a pretty big amount of money, especially in relation to the full retail price of the HomePod at $350. So there's a little bit more in the box at the bottom. Just some HomePod stuff. And that's it. That's the HomePod. We can do a little comparison. This is an iPhone 10. So actually pretty similar in size. I know that a lot of reviews have talked about the HomePod being a lot smaller in person than it looked on Apple's website with their press photos and stuff like that. Alright, so all I've done is gone ahead and plugged in the HomePod. We'll walk through setup. I haven't had any time to kind of review what the setup process looks like, so I'll be able to give kind of unfiltered thoughts on whether it's easy or not. I presume that the first thing you do is hold... Yep, you just hold your iPhone, or I assume iPad, right next to the device. I believe Bluetooth has to be on, which it is, and it just pops up and asks me if I want to set up my HomePod, so I'll click Setup. You choose where your HomePod is, so this is in the living room, I guess. Select that. This is where you would subscribe to Apple Music. I'm not going to do that right now, and we'll go ahead and talk about later in a review or something like that about HomePod with Apple Music versus someone who, like me, is a Spotify user, and that's going to cause some problems. Personal requests, so this will allow anyone to use the HomePod to send and read messages, reminders, notes, etc. You can turn this on or turn it off, and obviously in the settings, I presume you can go ahead and do that after the fact. And I'm going to go ahead and enable it. I'll agree to the terms and conditions. And I'll go ahead and transfer settings from my phone, from my iCloud and music accounts. And, I mean, it looks like that should be it. I think I did read that you need to have at least iOS, I guess 11.2.5, I think. So you make sure you're on the latest version. You also need to make sure you have two-factor authentication enabled, as well as iCloud Keychain. I think those are some of the prereqs for setting this up. So if you don't have that already, you can go ahead and look in the settings on your iPhone or iPad to get those set up in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter in the necessary passwords in order to set up the HomePod.
Hi, I'm Siri. Welcome to HomePod. You can't tell, but I'm waving. To get my attention, say, "Hey Siri." Let's try it. Say, "Hey Siri, what can you do?"
Hey Siri, what can you do?
I can do lots of things, like turn on the lights, give you a news update, and tell you about the weather. Now you try. Say, "Hey Siri, play some music."
So this is just giving you a demo of the features of HomePod. I'm going to go ahead and click Done on the iPhone. And there you go, it should be set up. Let's go ahead and quickly jump into, I'll jump into Spotify. So we'll go ahead and switch devices, AirPlay, and right there, without having to do anything else besides that quick setup process, the HomePod is showing right up, so I'll click on that.
not drunk and make fun of the way you talk.
So that's just a quick look at the unboxing and setup. If you look here, you can see that there are actually volume up and down buttons on the device itself. That's all you have to do to set up the HomePod. Very easy. And check back for more updates on HomePod. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.